recording, start streaming. Okay, then change my monitor to the Xbox so I can tell what's going on. And then I set up my phone. And then I share my stream. There we go. Okay. Set my phone up. All right. Oh, I should also close my door so I'm not disturbing the household. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Wiggity, wiggity, wiggity. Let's get ready for Tier 2 racing for the average American F1 league. Let's go. We're back at it after a whole 6 days. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go over to the grid to show. Please don't. I don't want to get copyrighted. Tried it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the starting grid. Like I said, we're doing the grid according to reverse order of the driver's standings. And not only that, we have 4 new people in Tier 2. Let's give it a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Now, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, we got Trident back, and he's wanting to do an Xbox party, so that's why you can't hear my co-host. They won't even hear what you say. But yes, we are back, and we are racing at the Singapore Grand Prix, 31 laps, and get this, it's a wet race, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! It is going to be wild. It's going to be awesome. It's going to safety car. We got 13 drivers on the grid. Woo! Can't wait. You have your Well, I'm pretty sure no one heard, but Trident said if there was money on the line, he would be placing money on Hope. And everyone in Tier 2 is feeling restless. They want to get racing, so let me go ahead and tell them to get going. Yep. And purple. And ladies and gentlemen, do not forget that last week, Tito Eric won the Imola Grand Prix last weekend. So because of that, he jumped up in the standings all the way to P3, and that is why we're seeing him on the second to last row. I am getting spammed with DMs. Let's get it going, ladies and gentlemen. Back on the streets of Singapore for a wet race. And oh, okay, apparently I forgot to adjust it a little. Apparently we do have rain. We do have it bleh. Apparently it's in the day for some reason. Daylight savings? No, we did not, apparently. And ladies and gentlemen, I know y'all can't see the Discord, but I want to bring you up to date. We are so close to being maxed out in Tier 2. We only need 3 drivers left. Let's give it a round of applause for all of them. And then we go racing. Everyone on the grid. Formation lap. Absolute chaos indeed. Everyone starting out on the intermediates for this wet race. The Mercedes off. I mean, they are allowed to do that during the formation lap, but can't do that during the race. That will result in a penalty. There is your possible race strategy, ladies and gentlemen. 1 stop enters or 2 stop enters. Let's see what our drivers will do, and we shall see if the weather decides to do something special. Everyone just at a snail's pace going through the track. People sliding their tires left, right, and center. Wow, the field is so far back. The 2 Williams are barely getting through the final bits of Sector 2. Or is this just a ploy from the 2 Williams to stay far back to pull a Sonny Hayes at Silverstone during the movie? OxyAries is having a little something with his tires. Hopefully it's not going to be something. Was it Cuzzy? Oh yeah, okay, I'm sorry. Ooh, their tires are going to be ice cold by the time the rest of the field comes up. Oh, it looks like Mateo in the kick salver went just a little too far up or just nailed it perfectly. He is super far up on his grid slot. Several vehicles were... OxyAries already on waiting at the grid. Yep. Oh, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Engines are roaring, tires warming but cooling quickly, engines screaming. 5 lights shining and they're off. Tires go screaming and screeching towards turn 1. Everyone seems to have gotten off. Oh, but the Haas of Septic went a little wide. Oh, and the kick salver of Mateo cuts the second corner. We've already got stuff going on in the background. HTO, the race winner last week, has found himself in the back. Oh, the Ferrari goes into the walls, and someone just Lumen goes off into the drive. Our front four drivers are still in the same position. Oh my goodness. Hope and Angry Ink went 2-1. Oh, they're still going. Oh, and Hope was shut out at the. Oh my goodness! Collision between the Alpine and Ferrari. They didn't leave any space for each other and went into the barriers. That means the two Williams of Kuzi and OxyAries move up another 2 positions. So does the Ferrari of HTO. Hope. Oh! And there's contact between the Red Bull and the Alpine. Not severe, but just enough. Yes, they have, quite indeed. Once Hope has been overtaken by... never mind. Oh! And the Alpine goes wide! Loses traction at the first turn and loses the position to Once Hope in the Mercedes. Now up 2 positions from his original starting spot. So far back indeed. Kuzi and Aries. Oh, Kuzi goes for a move down the inside of the Alpine and goes for it, but the Alpine gets back ahead. But I'm not sure if he went off track. If he did, he might have to get that position back. Red in the McLaren is losing ground on the 2 front runners. But Matteo is slowly losing ground to Septic in the Haas. MTD Purple in the Aston Martin is losing ground to the front runners as well. But it's creating a gap between him and the Red Bull. And the Red Bull is under threat from the Mercedes behind of Once Hope. Going down the back straight. Let's see if Kuzi goes for a move. Oh, the LP tried to go for a move on the Mercedes, but he put himself under threat. Incredible threat from Kuzi in the Williams. But Kuzi loses out on the exit, not getting the traction that they needed. Lumen hit with a 10-second time penalty for speeding into the pits. That might have just ruined his race. Kuzi does not go for the move that he attempted to go for. Major contact between the Alpine and Mercedes. Once Hope tried to close the door, but it was too late. Kuzi was already there and collided. Kuzi is in P6, but with damage. Aries, the second Williams driver, the runner-up to Kuzi in the championship, might be thirsty for another great result. And with the added damage of Kuzi, the kick caught up. Matteo. And Red in their McLaren is closing as well. Is he planning for the late game? Does he know something everyone doesn't? I don't know. Cozy and Aries are slowly creating a gap between themselves and... I know Jerome goes into the pits. Possibly from the collision between him, the Mercedes, and the Williams. HTO is making ground on the second Williams, closing the gap from 1.5 seconds all the way down to 7/10. He lost 3/10 in this section of the track, but he is wild. He is going. He is climbing. HTO is starting to dance on the line of danger. Looking ahead at his fuel, he is underfueled for this race, just like at Imola. But will he be able to do the same magic he did at Imola and conserve battery all the way, conserve fuel all the way to the end? Cozy is starting to suffer. His rear tires are sliding a bit out of the exits. He is still gaining on Angry Link, Max Verstappen, in the Red Bull. But is it going to be enough before his tires just drop off? MTD is just in her race. Oh, Williams. Cozy going around the outside to inside, but brakes early. Did not want to go for a move there. And back to the front, Red in the McLaren is still about 1.5 to 1.3 seconds away. He's just been... Oh! Cozy into the wall? Oh! And due to that collision with the wall, he has slowed down his teammate and is under threat even greatly to HTO in the Ferrari. Coming back. He is proving to the grid that even though he started on pole, he does have the pace to continue to fight for another victory, even a podium. But the Red Bull of Max Verstappen is a bottleneck to everyone behind. Is Matteo just using Septic as a guide to see where on the track he can go, where the grip is? Whoa! HTO started drifting through that corner. Oh, and makes contact with the wall! Matteo, due to that collision, is now under threat of Red in the McLaren. Will Red go for a move? No, he opts out of it. Instead, trying to get a better exit. Red in the McLaren at the front. Towards the back of the grid. Cozy still getting completely frustrated with the Red Bull driver, hating staying behind him. I know Kuzi, and he hates being behind a slower driver. After the yep. Oh! Yellow flag. The Ferrari of Kian Ways had a little incident. I do not. Oh! What happened to Max? Max isn't letting it go, though. He's trying to go for a move on OxyAries, but isn't able to. Did Kuzi make contact with Angry, causing them to go off and then leaving a gap for OxyAries to go through? What happened? OxyAries might actually be creating a gap between him and Kuzi. Could that front wing damage be already making its rounds against Kuzi? Lumen goes into the pits to serve his 10-second time penalty. The Angry. Yes, indeed. Angry trying. Whoa! Angry going off the line to try to cool off his tires. Oh! Full wet? Is it that time? I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. The rain does seem to be coming down a lot harder. But we shall see. Will he be able to keep on the rear wing of Kian? We will see. Oh, it does look like in some parts of the track, the wets are faster than the inters. Matter of fact, Nebula is slowly closing the gap. He slowly starts closing and then going further back. OxyAries cuts a corner. Will the Williams go into the pits? No, they do not. While two drivers go into the pits for wets, it looks like the rest of the field is gambling on inters. It looks like it might be because Nebula has dropped from 2 seconds down to 3.4. Kian sets a 149.7 while Nebula sets a 215.7. That is true. That is his outlap. The Everyone will be looking at the Alpines to determine what will be the best call, staying out on inters or making the gamble to full wets. OxyAries has created a gap on his teammate by 1.5 seconds. That front wing damage is making its rounds against Kuzi. He is not making any grounds. He loses another 3 seconds. 3/10. Let's see. Let's test their middle sectors. Kian on the inters crosses line 119.6. Noble 119.9. He is losing about 3/10 per lap. Let's continue watching the Ferrari as he comes to the end of his lap. Kian crosses line a 150.2. Nebula goes to cross the line. It is a 150.4. Hold on. Are the wets slowly starting to come into the fray? Only 2/10 down overall. Oh. The top four all just in a race of their own self. HTO in the Ferrari still has not made a move on Angry Link in the Red Bull. He is still behind and losing massive amount of time to the Williams ahead. Red struggling, losing so much time in the corners. His rears must be screaming. Has he overdriven them, or is it just too wet? I don't. Oh! Red almost loses it out of the exit of turn whatever the heck that is. MTD in the Aston Martin is slowly catching. Mateo was once fighting for a race win here, ladies and gentlemen, is now 6.9 seconds away from the race leader. MTD is hold on. As we've been focusing on that, we should also focus on the Williams of OxyAries behind. He has been using battery, but he is slowly closing the gap between himself and the Aston Martin. Incredible work. purple and red. Yes, power bad. Oh! The Mercedes hit the wall. No damage is visible at the moment, but that collision has lost them time. Not a lot, but just enough to make... Oh! He hits the wall again. He is losing time and overdriving. He is overdriving his McLaren. He notices he is losing time to the Aston Martin. And the Aston Martin within 7/10. He sees blood in the water. That is correct, Lumity. Bad days for the Mercedes. But it could be even worse, as the two Alpines were in the middle of the pack, were fighting for points, but they made a bad call to go onto the wets and have just been losing time, not gaining. Purple staying on the dry line, on the racing line. Let's ride on board with the Aston Martin as he hunts down the McLaren. With the addition of the wet conditions and the dirty air, is it just too much for the Aston Martin to make a move on the McLaren? Yellow flag. Lumen retires from the race. The McLaren keeps going wide at the hairpin, but keeps getting a better exit because of it. Is that the move to go for here at Singapore in the wet? Everyone's tires must be starting to burn at some point. They have been on these tires for almost 13 laps each. And the McLaren goes into the pits. But will he speed into the pits? No. Perfect execution. Oxy. The McLaren of Red comes back out in P8 behind the Ferrari, Red Bull, and both Williams. Purple in clean air is finally able to show what he is made of. But will it be enough to catch out the two leaders? He is 10 seconds down from Matteo and about 18 seconds down from the Haas. But was... Yes. The Ferrari tried to go down the inside of the Red Bull, but couldn't make any traction on the wet stuff. It is just Tetris conditions off the racing line. Matteo goes to the pits. Matteo Yeah, Mateo will be coming out between the Williams and Red Bull. The question is, when does the Aston Martin into Williams pit? Do they go for an overcut or an undercut? But is unable to go something. Angry has just been a absolute menace to try to overtake. He has been defending expertly. If he doesn't get driver of the day, I don't know who would. His defense has just been amazing. Omni Nebula still on those wets. Red slowly catching up of the Scarlett Red of Ferrari. The question is, will he catch up to them before they pit? Remember, ladies and gentlemen, these two are really... Oh! MTD hit with a 10-second time penalty for speeding into the pits. Red is getting hit with that dirty air now. Oh, is he going to undercut the Williams and Aston Martin? That is indeed true. The Red Bull into the walls, loses a front wing, and might be under... Oh! Max completely closing the door on the Red Bull. That will be investigated after the race. Purple will have to push. Septic hit with a 10-second time penalty as well. Not just Aries, we still have Mateo, who pitted earlier. Kuzi goes into the pits. Mateo might get the race win due to the 10-second time penalty. Does he... Mateo going down the pitch straight. He is going to be right on the gearbox of the Haas. Mateo is back in for the race win. 4/10. Will that matter with the 10-second time penalty? Max Verstappen. Oh! Oh! Purple hits Red into the wall. And OxyAries goes for a move down the inside of the Aston Martin. Pushes him wide. He might have to give that position back. And the Aston Martin goes down the inside. Aries does not go and let him... Oh! The Aston Martin makes a move around the outside of the Williams to retake the position. And that has made it perfect for Angry Link in the Red Bull. He lost time through the middle sector, but he was able to not have to fight too much. The McLaren falling back behind, but Kuzi is gaining. And Kuzi, still with that damaged front wing, did not change it in the pit stop. It's still gaining on the McLaren. Max Verstappen goes wide. Angry goes into the pits. Wait, hold on, ladies and gentlemen. HTO at the beginning of the race was almost taken out. He is currently P3 on the podium. Hope going went for a move on the Alpine, and oh! I think that will be okay. He was hit by the Alpine, so I believe that will be a-okay. Septic creating a gap between himself and Matteo by 1.9 seconds. Oh, almost making contact with the Aston Martin. If Matteo stays with this pace, he will win the race due to Septic's 10-second time penalty. HTO 13 seconds away from P2. If he continues to go faster and faster, he might be on for P2. Missing that left end plate. No one is seemingly going for any moves now due to all the chaos. Kuzi down the inside but loses out on traction. Kuzi may have the battery, may have the exit, but on the wet stuff, it is... Oh, ladies and gentlemen, Kuzi makes a move on McLaren. Oh, slow stop in... Kuzi finally getting past the McLaren to get P6, but is 3.3 seconds down on his teammate, while Septic sets the fastest lap. Aries has more battery than the Aston Martin. He has a better entrance and exit of the final corner, but it's just that penultimate corner. He keeps going in at a sharp angle and losing grip. OxyAries desperately trying to get past the Aston Martin, everyone making it so difficult to overtake here at Singapore. Ladies and gentlemen, are my eyes deceiving me? Is the rain getting lighter? Purple gone into the wall, and Carlos hit with the 10-second. Oh my goodness! Aries made that look easy. Question is, will MTD Purple softs? Did I hear softs? There is a dry line, but I don't understand that. The pits are just impossible, fully wet, and Carlos is hit with another 10-second for crossing the white line out of the pit exit. Septic is setting purple sectors left, right, and center. Mateo is not able to make up any more ground, and Purple is hit with the 3-second time penalty for cutting the corner multiple times. Oh, angry spun out at the final sector. Purple is making a lot of mistakes. Does Purple have damage? Cause he might be going for a move on the Aston Martin here at... Oh! Cause he goes for it, but sends it too much! She cut the corner and went into the barriers, damaging the other side of that wing, losing the other end plate. Her downforce will be non-existent in these wet conditions. I don't fully understand why he is making these moves. The Aston Martin has that 13-second time penalty. OxyAries slowly closing the gap on Tio Eric. Kuzi goes for a move. Oh! Wheel banging, and she goes off track. He goes off track. Sorry, it's Laura. It's Stu. Once Hope goes into the pits for Slicks. Will Tio Eric go for Slicks here in these final 10 laps? Kuzi, they are not. Due to this constant battle, they are losing out time. Oh, and the other... Did I see a Alpine? No, Alpine goes into the pits. Kuzi losing time 1.4 seconds slower than his previous time. Cutting the first corner to try to gain time on the Aston Martin. Going for the off-line line to try to make any gains, but is not. The racing line is definitely the way to go here. Oh! Contact once again. Mateo, 7.7 seconds away from the leader that has a 10-second time penalty. Mateo needs to gain time. Kuzi hitting the wall out of the hairpin, losing time. Tio Eric hit with the 3-second time penalty for cutting corners. Tio Eric is just being a nuisance to the Williams driver of Aries. Is Tio Eric just going for a zero stop? I don't believe that's within the rules. The rain is gone. The track almost looks completely dry. A little wet offline. Mateo laps the last remaining Mercedes. 8 seconds adrift of him and Septic in the Haas. Purple still defending against the Williams. Angry goes into the... He goes on mediums. Septic setting a new fastest lap. Aries is sniffing, but Tio Eric is smelling because he has more batteries than the Williams. Talk about Williams and batteries. Kuzi in the Williams has more batteries than the Aston Martin. Oh! Tio Eric goes into the wall at the Williams going for a 2-stop. The double stack goes perfect. Kuzi stops to also get a wing change, losing 2 places. Red and Tio Eric. Tio Eric has brought himself back into the race. Septic pushing. Septic will need to keep going. Oh, Septic, our race leader, is going to the pits. He will be serving that time penalty as well. Mateo into the pits. Will Purple go into the pits or stay out? The slicks are the tires to be on. Septic Septic has been overtaken in the pits by Mateo. Mateo. Who? Mateo is now leading the race, ladies and gentlemen. OxyAries overtakes both MTD. Tio Eric from P11 to P4. OxyAries from P12 to P3. And Kuzi from back of the grid to P5. Septic, after serving that time penalty, came out behind Mateo and is... I do not know. A minute 35.9. Can Tio Eric make any gains to catch up to Aries in the Williams? The softs seem to be the way to go. Perfect, actually, because the track is still cold from all the water. Oh! Max goes off the track, and OxyAries with the new fastest lap. 3 seconds faster than once hoped. Septic setting a purple sector 1. But, hold on. Angry Link is still in the runoff. Nope, he rejoins. Never mind. I thought a safety car was about to be deployed. Septic is pissed with that time penalty and is showing it on track. The sun beams through the clouds. Septic having a snap out of the corner. Angry Link retires from the race. Oh! No! That is disastrous. That is disastrous for so many drivers. That might actually be the greatest thing for Tio Eric. Sure, he has a 3-second time penalty, but he may be able to make some gains and overtake Aries. It's a full safety car, but it will only be out for 2 laps. The safety car will be out for only 2 laps. Due to the coding of the game, the race will not end under safety car. The safety car is not permitted to come out during the final 3 laps of a race. So lap 31, lap 30, and lap 29. So the safety car will be coming in at the end of this lap, ladies and gentlemen, whether or not the field has caught up. It is not. Ladies and gentlemen, I am... ladies and gentlemen, if the field ends where it is, ladies and gentlemen, safety car's not coming in? What? Ladies and gentlemen, if the race ends as it is, the gap between OxyAries and Kuzi in the driver's standings will drop to 10 points adrift. Both Eric in the Ferrari, MTD Purple in the Aston Martin, and Once Hope in the Mercedes, all with 3-second time penalties. If I'm honest, if I know Drone, I would pit 2 softs just to get the fastest lap. Because at this point, he is just ending where he is. Well, I'm saying, like, pit again. Get rid of that other time penalty. Safety car will be in at the end of this lap. OxyAries will be on the rear wing of the... My money is on Aries, honestly. I feel like he might go for a move on Septic and Mateo. But the Alpine will be ghosted. Mateo is already off! Backing the grid, and he's off! Whoa! What is Aries doing? Oh! Aries! Septic up ahead! Also loses the rears, but manages to keep it out of the barriers. OxyAries was caught out! What is going on with... Is Aries just giving up the position to Kuzi? What is going on? Oh, Red is spun around! Kuzi, ow! What happened? OxyAries, if he overtakes the Ferrari, will be leading the championship. DRS re-enabled. Septic is desperate on the final lap, trying to get that final position, the position that is rightfully his after an amazing race. He is equal on battery with Kian overtakes the Aston Martin. Oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I think Ferrari might extend, well, Ferrari's going to be extending their lead in the Constructors' Championship. Septic into the wall? Oh my gosh! Mateo, because of that, Mateo will be winning the Singapore Grand Prix if he doesn't make a mistake. OxyAries needs to push. If he makes one mistake, that might drop him down outside of 3 seconds. Either way, he will be finishing and leading the championship. OxyAries is your new championship leader, and Mateo wins the Singapore Grand Prix. Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, chaos, tragedy, and celebration. The debut race of the Kicksauber of Mateo. There he goes, celebrating. Soak it all up. Mateo. Oh my goodness. One-stop strategy and made it work. Incredible stuff. Holy cow. This is kind of why I say that I am more excited for Tier 2 racing. Oh my goodness. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's go over to the cooldown room to get... Well, actually, let's go to Tier 2 and get their reactions. Mateo! Congratulations! Felicidades! Mateo from P2. That was incredible. Oh my gosh.
Me too. Over.
Wait.
We got the race streamed, Sebra and I. So I'll post the stream if you guys want it. It was insane.
Mateo,
insane.
congratulations.
No.
Felicidades.
Yeah.
For
I
our
went from
Spanish.
second to last. So fast.
No, you didn't get
from
last.
11th.
I was
11th to last.
lapped.
In my mind, I'm last. If you ain't first, you're last. And I was so close to being first.
That was
Hell
an incredible race, you guys.
Hell yeah.
Seriously.
Mateo, I understand you don't speak English, but could you please give us anything? How do you feel? even in your own native language, please. The audience deserves to hear the excitement.
He's here. Sí, ragazzi.
Buenas. Bueno, yo,
Don't translate.
la verdad estaba algo nervioso y bueno, primera carrera, una victoria, la verdad que es bastante bueno, mucha confianza y bueno, esperamos otra victoria en la carrera siguiente.
I can translate.
All right.
All right, translate,
I
please.
Well
understand
done.
a lot of that. I don't even speak Portuguese.
Sounds like he's excited or something.
He said you guys are shit and try better next time.
All right, who's the one that said they could translate?
Me.
All right,
Baba
That's
Tunde.
just-
all right, Aries,
Babatunde.
please translate.
So he basically just said, typical good job everybody. It was his first race, so he was nervous. And he just saw that there was a lot of fast and quick people on there. So yeah.
Well,
Hopes for more
tell
to
him that-
come.
Well,
Hey.
congratulations, Mateo. Vamos, vamos.
Low-key, that might be what he
Otra
said.
cosa para decir y la verdad es que el safety car me salvó la estrategia. Hice un undercut al que estaba primero, no sé quién era el que estaba primero. Hice un undercut y bueno, el safety car me terminó de salvar la estrategia. Y bueno, iba a defender con todo lo que tenía porque iba a abrir los brazos para defender y que no me pase el segundo porque me olvidé, no supe o no me di cuenta de poner neumáticos blandos y puse medio y me quería matar. Y bueno, el safety car me salvó, me salvó, literalmente vino del cielo el safety car y gané. Ya está.
All right, Aries.
So what he just said was the safety car saved his strategy since he was able to undercut somebody, and he was just ready to defend with his life, and also that he messed up because he went on mediums instead of softs. But yeah, he was just saying how the safety car really saved the race
Well,
for him.
again,
don't-
Mateo, vamos, vamos. I
Dude,
think
I was so looking forward to the fight between Septic and Mateo, bro.
Dude, I was going into that tight section and just I was literally up his rear diffuser.
¡Vamos,
and then
Messi,
hit back
carajo!
Mateo had, oh my
Exactly,
goodness,
bro.
the cinema, the Spanish speaker imitating the Ferrari driver of Carlos Sainz, another fellow Spanish speaker. Vamos! Mateo, the smooth operator, gets in there and
I thought
wins
Carlos
the
Sainz
Singapore
actually
Grand
traveled.
Prix.
Isn't he speaking Portuguese?
Thanks.
Spanish.
¡Vamos!
Vamos,
I
hermano.
love this guy, bro.
It is pretty much
boy.
the same, but
Kira,
That's
do you have any words to give to Mateo? I know there's a
7.
bit of a language barrier, you with Portuguese, but as a fellow like non-English speaker, any words of encouragement would you like to give to Mateo here?
I think he will understand me. Bora, irmão, porra! Excelente.
All right. Well,
I
good
think he
race.
called him a bitch.
Almost that.
Well, good
Nah,
race,
boys, good
everyone.
race, and
Good
I'll
race.
post,
Bueno,
in
no
a
sé,
minute.
yo vi la noticia ahí, digamos, por grupos de F1 en Xbox. Y bueno, dije, bueno, entro para competir porque normalmente juego solo. Y bueno, y practico solo y entro en línea y bueno, intento competir y hago lo que puedo. Y lo vi y dije, bueno, me animo a competir y bueno, salió lo de hoy, una victoria.
All right, Aries. Oh, and Aries is in here too. Oh,
I'm here, but I'm gonna keep it real. I wasn't listening. I wasn't listening. I was
Sounded
I was
like he was talking
texting.
about practicing or something.
Okay.
I think so.
Well, either way, any
He said
final.
he mainly.
As-
I got it, half of it. He said he mainly raced alone, so he saw that Xbox Championship. I don't know if it was the
Notification.
news. Yeah, and
Oh,
he
the
was
post.
excited. Yeah, excited on racing with another good drivers. You know,
All
it was
right.
kind of like that.
All right. All right. All right.
Close enough.
And as per usual, when we end the stream, we end with one final word from everyone. So, starting at the top, Aries, any final words?
It was a fun race. The rain definitely made it a lot more interesting than the two previous races. Unfortunate what happened to my teammate. She DNF'd
Yeah.
on the last lap. Truly unfortunate moment,
That
but
koozie.
yeah, Kuzu.
Yikes.
Very unfortunate for
But
Stu.
to everybody else, good race. The guy in first place, that motherfucker was flying.
Send him a T1.
Yeah, that's about it. Good race.
All right. Carlos, any final words?
Let me think. Alright. The safety car kind of saved me and Stonix, especially after like 3 people DNF'd in one lap. I don't remember who it was. It was actually no, who it was. It was Link, Kuzi, and
That was a. That was a.
oh, and then it was Septic who spun out.
I didn't
ended up behind
DNF.
us. Yeah. So that kind of saved me and Stonix.
Okay. And Kira, any final words?
Congratulations to P1, mi hermano, and then to my P3, my Red Baron Eric was flying today as usual, and he said he should talk here, but he doesn't know how to speak English. That 2 seconds that he got saved the Oxy because he got his P2, because he should be on P2 and got I think it was 3-second penalties and ended up in P3, but it was great for him. Was a good race. I have an intercalation with some Alpines. She hit me and I was fucked because I lost my hair ring, and I put it on the first lap to to fix it, and I thought, oh yeah, shit, my race has ended, and I was flying. When I saw, I don't know if it was 30 seconds to the guy that was behind me, and he got a new set of tires, and he was pretty away from me. So I tried to race how I could with that tire, and got a hard tire, and then safety car, and the thing got really strange, and I got a fight with I think it was Aston Martin at the end, that was with soft tires, and actually I could get his position, so it was very nice, better than I expected. Congratulations to everybody, and uno due Ferrari. Thank you guys.
Congratulations. Mateo, final words?
Bueno, primero agradecer la bienvenida y la oportunidad de correr en una liga. Es mi primera carrera y mi primera victoria, la verdad. Le agradezco mucho, le agradezco a todos. Bueno, no vi lo que pasó atrás, espero que haya sido muy divertido, pero agradezco la oportunidad y agradezco todo. Agradezco el safety car, lo agradezco con mi vida, agradezco el safety car. Y bueno, a seguir. Vamos, Argentina, carajo.
Aries?
I think I know what he said.
Well,
Or
he was
Carlos?
just saying thank you to everybody for welcoming him to the league, allowing him to race with us, as well as just he's excited about it being his first actual league race. He was also thanking
That's what I thought.
the safety car that Max thankfully brought upon us, and yeah, that's about it.
All right, all right, all right. Max, any final words? You unfortunately DNF'd.
I don't think he speaks.
Yeah. Got in a lot. DRS train. I have to
DRS
defend.
train.
I have to defend my position as hard as I can.
Yeah, I don't think he speaks.
I defend my position as hard as I can.
Yes, you're one of the best defenders this race.
I tried the one stop, but didn't work.
Yes, that is very unfortunate. All right. Hope, any final words?
Well, it was a good race at first. I was, well, not handed, but I was just given an opportunity. Slipped. I was able to bring it back for some points, but Mercedes, we just got to be better. We just got to do better next race and the race after. Barca, let's go.
All right. And Septic.
I was not
He's muted.
expecting to be nearly as fast as I was on those inters and on those softs. I was flying at the end of the race, and then that safety car came out and just wiped away my tire advantage. I tried to get on the gas early because I had to back off through that tight section and just spun the car.
Very unfortunate.
So yeah, it was a great race. It's finally found a league with people my skill level instead of me either getting wiped across the floor or wiping other people across the floor.
Well, with that, we will end the stream and end this episode in this episodic adventure, ladies and gentlemen. Join us next week for the Spanish Grand Prix at Barcelona.
So he says white race.